Carpe Seuss, Ben and I went hunting up in North Texas. We decided to try out some Wolf Military Classic ammo that was requested by a viewer. Here I am sighting in my rifle at the range with the ammo. After I've done some adjustments already, this is my final 3-shot group. It turns out looking pretty good. Had about 1.25 MOA. Through Ben's rifle, he got 2 groups, one at about 1.5 MOA and one at about 2.25 MOA. About 5:30, got in the stand a little while later, was playing with the laser rangefinder on the Pulsar Trail XP38 laser rangefinder, getting some distances on some little birds under the feeder. When I happened to pan over and look at the other feeder,
oh my gosh,
and we're getting invaded. Those are turkeys out there at between 91 and 84 yards.
we're being freaking invaded. Are you seeing that?
Optics provided by Third Coast Thermal.
Turkeys look really interesting on thermal. Their heads appear to be hot. Their bodies appear to be cool. That's because their bodies are much better insulated with all the feathers than are their heads. And this is why this time of the year we stop feeding in daylight, because the turkeys come in and they take all of the corn before the deer or other animals can come at night to feed on it. Along about 10 o'clock, a hog finally came in. I got my rifle up and on the hog. And at this point, we're waiting for Ben to get powered up with his scope and his recorder. I'm adding an aiming dot that you can see rising up to the center of the crosshairs just so that you can better see where I'm aiming when I take my shot. After the turkeys had come in, the feeder had gone off, and so the hog is eating on the corn that's on the ground, as are the raccoons and the deer that were there before it. Ben's now got his rifle up and on, and I'm adding an aiming dot to his screen as well so you can better see where he is aiming. Now we're discussing at this point who's going to be shooting where. Since I'm sitting on the left, if the hog is facing to the left, I'm going to shoot it in the shoulder, and Ben is going to try shooting it in the butt. And if the hog is facing to the right, he's going to shoot it in the shoulder, and I'm going to try shooting it in the butt. That way our shots don't do any damage that overlap with one another. We're waiting for the hog to come out from behind the feeder before we start shooting. That way we don't risk shooting one of the feeder legs. All right, here we go. Ben gets off a second shot that just barely misses, and the boar runs about 40 yards into the woods where it collapsed, and it turned out to be a nice 220-pound boar. Ben's shot entered the front of the shoulder, breaking the humerus, peeling back the arm a little bit. You can see a lot of the damage in the muscle between the shoulder and the ribs, and then you can see the permanent wound going through 2 ribs into the chest cavity, where the bullet struck both lungs and the heart, leaving 2 pieces of jacket in the lungs along with rib fragments. Here's where it penetrated the heart. And then it exited out between the false ribs, low down on the side of the hog. My bullet entered the side between the ribs and the pelvis, hitting no bones whatsoever, crossing through to the opposite side, exiting out the hip, where the bullet had apparently yawed.
Carpe sus, my friends.